You may or may not know that as a hobby, I make lures. I also sell them. Like I said, it's more of a hobby than anything, but I do take a lot of pride in it. And I sell them on a website, so I have to take a picture of each individual lure I make. And sometimes that can be a pain in the butt, trying to get the lighting just right and avoid all the shadows and crap. I don't have the best lighting in my house, mainly because this light right here. It's Edison bulbs and makes everything look orange. And what I decided to do is make a light box, hoping I can do everything from just stuff I have laying around the house. The only thing that I've had to buy is a piece of poster board from Walmart for 33 cents. You can buy these light boxes on Amazon for like 20 bucks, but why not try to make one ourselves? Let's see if we can't do it. All right, now as far as the stuff I got laying around my house, what I'm going to try to use is a box. This box is a lot bigger, at least taller than what I need. So I'm going to have to cut it down, so we'll need some scissors or a box cutter for that. Then I'm going to need some parchment paper. I'm hoping this works. This is the kind that's got the little squares on it. I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully that won't affect it. Then of course we'll need a poster board and some tape. And then some kind of light source. I picked up some real cheap lights, old desk lamps, but you can use anything around the house. All right, let's get into it. All right, if your box is too big like mine was, the first thing you're going to want to do is cut it down a size. It doesn't have to be very big, but it doesn't need to be too big or too small. Just consider whatever you're going to be taking pictures of, and also don't get it too big to where your parchment paper won't cover your windows that we're going to make later. My box ended up being like 12 inches by about 14 inches. Now our box is going to have 2 windows cut out on each side to cover with our parchment paper. This will allow light to shine through to whatever you're trying to take a picture. All I did was I took a ruler, maybe like 1.5 inches wide, and drew lines with a marker, creating a square to cut out for our window. You got to do this on both sides. Now take you a box cutter or a razor blade, hopefully a lot sharper than the one I was using, and cut your window out. Make sure you don't cut the very edge of your box because you're going to need that room to tape your parchment paper on. And of course you do the same thing on the other side. Now it's time to get your parchment paper. Go ahead and cut you a piece that's a little bit longer than the window in your box. Secure your top piece with a piece of tape. I use packing tape and scotch tape on this. Main thing is make sure your tape doesn't hang down past your little window that you cut out, because it'll create a dark spot or a shadow on whatever you're taking a picture and mess up the whole concept. Now I went ahead and cut my parchment paper because it was a little bit wider than my box was. Now you can go ahead and finish up taping up the sides of your parchment paper. Like I said before, make sure your tape doesn't go over your little window you cut, creating extra shadows that you're not wanting. Go ahead and tape up both sides and put a little piece or two at the bottom to hold it tight. Then go ahead and do your other side. Now it's time to cut out your backdrop, which is going to be your poster board. And you want to measure the inside of your box. Cut it a little bit narrower than whatever that measurement is. Like my box was 12 inches and I ended up cutting this. Originally I cut it 12 inches, it was too tight. I cut it like 10 inches. If you have a little gap on each side, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to fit perfect in your box. It's not going to show in your pictures. Now you're going to go ahead and tape your poster board to the very top of your box. You got to make sure that when you're handling your poster board, you do not want to crease it. When you lay your poster board in there, you want it to be at like a slope in the corner. You don't want it to be a square. If you put a crease in it, that's going to create shadows, and that's not what we're going to do. So if you see how I'm doing it, how it has like a gradual slope to it, like a ski slope, that's what you're looking for. You can come around the bottom of the box and crease it there. That way you can tape it down to hold it steady. And that's all there is to it. Now this thing is not going to win any beauty pageant awards, but it does work. Now let's go ahead and set it up, get ready to take some pictures. Like I said earlier, I got these little cheap desktop lamps. They come with clips. I think I got them at Walmart for like $6 a piece, but you can use like a nightstand light. The main thing you want to do is make sure you're using soft white bulbs. Go ahead and turn them on and shine them towards the little parchment paper windows you made. You might have to adjust your lighting in your house to make it look better by cutting lights on and off. Now these are 3 unfiltered pictures I took with this exact box that I just made. The only thing I adjusted was the brightness on my camera screen. Like when you're taking a picture with the iPhone, you can tap the picture and a little sun will pop up, and you can raise it or lower it to adjust how much light is in the picture. That's all I did. Alright, so that kind of worked. Is it professional quality? Probably not. You can play around with the settings on your camera or your phone, whatever you're using, and make it look a lot better. But, I mean, for 33 cents and some crap you got laying around the house, I think it does pretty good. I got a lot of pictures that I need to take. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next one.